Well, that's so. How do you ensure that they act in a way that you'd be happy with? I mean, these are contractors, I suspect, for the most part. They're the last people that the customer sees. If they clean up after themselves, if they're polite and so on, that makes you look good. But how do you ensure these guys are going to act like that?
Well, when we hire them, they're told that this is one of the things they have to do. They have to vacuum the carpet after it's done. We want them to make sure that they wipe their feet before they come in the door. They're polite, and we haven't had any problem with any of our mechanics in that regard.
I see. Have a lot of these guys worked for you for a long, long time?
Yes.
Okay, that's the key then, I guess, isn't it? So.
Yeah, and they're paid well, so it pays them to do what they have to do to do it right.
You pay them more than a lot of your competition does?
We pay more than some of the competition, I know. I assume some of the competition pays the same, but there is on a higher scale.
I see. When a customer first walks in the front door, is there a normal way that your salespeople handle these folks, or is that just everybody may do it differently?
Yeah, there's no set standard, but it's usually hi, hello, my name is so and so, and at that point people will respond by I'm so and so, and I'm looking for whatever. We don't do the "Can I help you" routine.
I see. A lot of people do, though, don't they? You have sales meetings?
Well, not formal meetings, but we have informal meetings that we conduct.
I see. It just seems like there's a lot of product information, there's a lot of sales technique information, and keeping a sales force going in the right direction would seem to be quite a challenge.
Not as bad as it sounds. As a new product comes in, we go over the pros and cons of the new product, and we're not adverse to telling a consumer if the product has a downside to it, because we have found that if someone is interested in a product and you tell them the possibility of a downside, your credibility is instantly established.
Yeah. It would seem to me, what with the internet, and I tell me somewhere upwards of 80% of consumers who walk into any floor covering store in the United States have spent some time getting an education on the internet. And I suspect that means a lot of times they'll walk in here thinking they know more than you do.
Yes.
And it's a hard time to straighten them out sometimes. I wonder, is that a problem you see frequently?
It's not a problem. It does occur from time to time. And some people you'll never convince that you're correct. But most people, if it's presented in the right way, will listen, and it's up to them to make up their own minds.
Do you have people that come in and try to get your price down because of what they said they saw on the internet?
Not so much on the internet. We do get people that come in and try to get the price down, and we try to maintain the price as much as possible. We try not to cut price if we don't have to.
I see, but you don't see that as a result of something somebody saw shopping on the internet.
Area rugs more than broadloom.
I see.
It doesn't happen much with broadloom because we explain that you have to get an installer. If you're going to get the carpet on the internet, you have to pay freight. And if something goes wrong with the installation, who do you go back to? And the difference isn't that great in price-wise that most of our customers would prefer to have the security of knowing that they can come back to somebody rather than have to worry about what they do later on.
Yeah, and I suspect if they're here and talking to you, they probably have made the decision they're not going to buy it over the internet anyway.
Hopefully.
I guess so. Maintaining margins. I suspect that's what every retailer worries about when they're laying in bed at night. How are you going to do that? Talk about that here. How do you maintain the margins that you want day in and day out?
Well, we set the price, and we hold the price. And we have found that most people that try to negotiate a price, I'm not saying all, but most people are just testing the waters. And if you tell them that we're sorry, but this is a competitive price, this is the best we can do, they're content with that. They're okay with that.
They're just testing you.
We found that doesn't happen all the time, but in most cases we find that people just test the waters. And if they can get a lower price, then fine, they can get it. If they can't, well, then okay, they can't.
Yeah, I guess then if you do that, then that instantly is going to be passed around among your customers and so on. That's probably going to put you in a bad light, isn't it?
Yeah, well, what happens is, and we found anyway, that if you cut the price, that the word does get around. And it's, we'll go in there and negotiate, and they'll cut the price. And you're doing that constantly. So you may, on occasion, lose somebody because you won't. But by and large, most of the people we've found are content with, if they feel they're getting a fair price and service and installation that they want, they're willing to pay for it.
Do you pay your salespeople on commission, and are they aware of margins?
Well, basically, it's my brother, I, and my nephew, so we're all aware of the margins, of course.
Okay.
And if we don't get commission.
Okay. Well, that's good. I guess it's good to have the sales force in the family, isn't it?
Yeah, it helps a lot.
I gotcha. You showed me an area in the back of the store where you have hard surface. What about the breakdown between soft and hard here? What would you say roughly that is?
About 70-30, 70 hard carpet to 30 hard surface.
I see. The operation in general, you became involved in hard surface after you sold a lot of carpet. I mean, carpet was hard surface something that you got in later, I guess.
No, actually, hard surface was the initial business was hard surface, and we got into carpet later.
I see. But then during the 60s, 70s, this was primarily a carpet operation?
No, we kept a good hard surface department all the way through.
I see.
Because we do commercial work, and of course a lot of that's hard surface.
I see. Talk about the hard surface area. This is in the back of the store. You've got quite a selection. Talk about your whole approach to hard surface.
Approach in what sense?
What kind of products do you offer, and why do you offer those particular products?
Well, we have a pretty decent selection of hardwood, because hardwood today is a very popular hard flooring. We have the laminate, we have your vinyl floors, we have vinyl sheet goods, and we have the Forbo line of linoleum. There are people that want that green Forbo product, and basically, again, when a customer comes in, the process of finding out what they want is just, they'll tell you what they want eventually.
Okay.
You just have to drag it out of them, but you'll find it eventually. Okay. And then we lead them to whatever we think the best product is, whether it's a laminate floor, a vinyl floor, sheet vinyl, or whatever.
I see. How about LVT? That seems to be a hot property.
Yes.
Is that something that you're involved in?
Oh yeah, yes. LVT and the wood look is a very, very big look today.
Now, I understand, and you correct me if I'm wrong, that people don't come in the door and say, "Show me some LVT." They sort of discover it once they're in the store. Is that pretty much the way you see it?
Yeah, well, that's the qualification again. So depending on what room they're going to be using it for, the family circumstances and so forth, and then we'll show them laminate and tell them the pros and cons of laminate. We'll tell them the pros and cons of LVT. We'll tell them the pros and cons of ceramic, and then they can kind of decide which way they want to go.
Okay. But you've been selling a lot of that, and people have responded to what you tell them and what they see in the product.
Yeah, pretty much. It always seems to get down to what they like the best. And we tell them there's a pro and con to all these products, so that they just have to kind of pick and choose.
I got you.
We've just finished a large delicatessen in an LVT wood look, which has turned out to be very successful.
Now, it's been, 6-8 months after your move?
March, about 9 months.
No. So you're still tweaking things here?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
I guess, are you continually tweaking anyway, even if you've been here for 25
That's
years?
an ongoing process forever.
What are the things you're considering going forward? Are there some new things you're considering bringing in, or changes in this operation that you may be contemplating?
No immediate, no drastic changes. We might expand our ceramic tile line, for example, but these are all things that we have now that just, as you say, it's a tweak. But we have nothing dramatic in mind in the way of a change.
Okay, so you may be expanding your ceramic.
Yeah, possibly. Or if the LVT continues to grow, we might expand on that.
I got you. I got you. You suppose I could get your brother to show us around the store?
Sure.
You suppose he'd do that?
Absolutely.
Al, I appreciate you having us in here and talking with us. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.